Slinky Dog Dash, tachos, and fighting with your family, I'm going to tell you why Toy Story Land is the coolest land in Disney World. Hey everybody, we're back with another Why This Land is the Coolest, our new series where I convince you that the land I'm in is the coolest one in Walt Disney World. Toy Story Land has a lot to offer. It's one of the newest lands in Walt Disney World. It's here in Disney's Hollywood Studios. It brought brand new attractions. It revived the classic Toy Story Mania. It brought a new quick service restaurant. Toy Story's got a lot of great details, and it's based on one of the most beloved franchises of all time. So it's very possible that Toy Story Land just might be the coolest land in all of Walt Disney World. I'll tell you one thing though, it is not literally the coolest land in Walt Disney World. It is 1,000 degrees the surface of the sun here. Do I still have a sweat mustache? The first reason that Toy Story Land is the coolest, it's got one of the most popular rides in all of Walt Disney World, Slinky Dog Dash. Slinky Dog Dash is a family-style coaster. There's no upside downs, it doesn't go really fast, but it is the perfect family coaster in my opinion. For starters, it's adorable. The theme of this entire land is that you're in Andy's backyard, it's playtime, and you're shrunk down to the size of a toy. And when you go look at the track for Slinky Dog Dash, you can fully see that this was a race car kit that Andy put together. He combined it with some other toys, he put out blocks, he put out characters like Rex and Jessie, and he made this his fun coaster, and then he put his beloved Slinky Dog on top of it. Number two, it's got a lot more bark than it looks like, and that pun was very much intended. Slinky Dog Dash looks like it's going to be as calm as the Barnstormer, but it's actually got a little more oomph. There's a little bit of launch at the initial takeoff, then there's a part where you stop and get rocketed back and launch again, then you do the ever classic boing boing boing, which makes your stomach go up and down while you're looking over Galaxy's Edge, and all the way down you can see Sunset Boulevard and Tower of Terror. Now Slinky Dog Dash does sometimes get a little bit of a bad rep, and that's because of the heat and the very long line. Listen, I get it. If I waited outside in the heat for 90 minutes, I wouldn't like whatever attraction it was either. So this is one you definitely want to prioritize on Genie Plus. Rope drop it, especially if you are a resort guest, so you can beat the non-shaded queue. Or, again, this land is amazing at night. That's a whole nother point we're going to talk about. But if you can ride Slinky Dog at night, you will likely have a shorter queue. It'll be much cooler, and you get to ride it when it looks its peak. But Slinky Dog Dash, one of the most popular rides in Disney World, definitely points for Toy Story Land. Instagram friends, social media friends, this next one is for you. Toy Story Land is one of the best places to get your creative content. There are some of the most fun photo ops in all of Walt Disney World right here in Toy Story Land. For starters, when you enter the land, you have that gigantic Woody doll, and he greets you and he welcomes you. You can take a great photo right there. But not to be outdone, there's also a giant Buzz Lightyear right next to alien swirling saucers, which of course is my favorite of the two, and it makes for a great photo. But that's not all. Some of the most iconic walls, you know, the walls people take pictures of in Walt Disney World, those are located here in Toy Story Land at the exit of the Toy Story Mania queue. There's the popsicle stick wall, which I'm actually standing in front of another version of that over by alien swirling saucers, as well as the checkerboard wall. These are super cute backgrounds where you can take a fun picture with your friends, with your kids, with your family, and they're super simple backgrounds, but they're fun and they're little nods to Toy Story Land. People often ask for the best places to take pictures in Walt Disney World, and again, Toy Story Land has some of the most fun ones. Oh, and don't forget, if you have PhotoPass, if you have Memory Maker, if you upgraded your ticket to include that, always ask for a magic shot when you take pictures with the PhotoPass photographers at the entrances, because you never know what could show up. One of the most fun things about Toy Story Land are the details. In fact, I would claim this is the most detailed land in all of Walt Disney World, and people often breeze right past things, so I'm not making this one category on the list, I'm making it several, so that hopefully you'll pay attention to some of my favorite details, like this one, which are Andy's giant footprints. Now don't try and do the math. Duckfist and I did once for how big these footprints are compared to how big the Buzz and Woodies are, compared to how big actual feet are, compared to how big actual toys are. None of the math is right, so don't do the math. I'll save you the trouble. But it's really fun that you've got these giant footprints everywhere because, again, we're in Andy's backyard, and a fun little activity you could do with your kids if you wanted to, see how many of your feet equal Andy's feet. So let's do mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, just about 27. So tell me how many of your feet are Andy's feet down in the comments. Another reason Toy Story is the coolest land in all of Walt Disney World, it's got one of the best themed bathrooms in all of Walt Disney World. Now I know you're all fans of the Tangled bathroom over at Magic Kingdom, and honestly I am too, but you're gonna look me in the eye through this camera and tell me that that is better than this bathroom here in Toy Story Land, where the toy of choice are cooties? You're gonna look me in the eye and tell me that? No. Oh God, it's so bright. I think this is absolutely the cutest bathroom setup ever. You've got the little cootie on top here. There's also a little cootie in the grass right here. And then to take it one step further, if you look at the blocks, that one says boy, that one says girl. The whole thing is made of different blocks. There's a Scrabble tile with the W at the water station. And then when you're actually in the bathrooms, they're adorable too. Use it, enjoy it, love it. The next coolest thing about Toy Story Land has got to be Woody's Lunchbox. Once again, I don't mean literally. It's very, very high here and it's all outdoor seating. So people don't always love Woody's Lunchbox in that way. But it's got some of the most iconic snacks at this point, so we're headed in to get one of them. Additionally, Woody's Lunchbox fills up very, very quickly. It's very popular at peak lunchtime. So if you do want to eat here, I recommend mobile ordering as early as possible. When I got into the park, I already had to mobile order for like 45 minutes out from when I was standing here mobile ordering. So sometimes it goes up to 2 hours. And you don't want to be like, I'm hungry right now, I'd love some tachos, and then look at the app and you can't get tachos for 2 hours. That'd be very upsetting, and I want to save you from that disappointment. So mobile order early. On the menu here at Woody's Lunchbox, again, we are in Andy's backyard. Andy's mom has made him some lunch, so we are literally in a lunchbox, which is so cute. It's propped up by his Woody's Roundup canteen here. Thermos? That's a thermos. You've got these little boxes that are the registers. They're little treats, cookie boxes from Trixie and Lotso Hug and Bear. You've got some of the critters. He's got some carrot sticks and things. Cookie over here, and the whole thing's sponsored by Baby Bell, so you'll see Baby Bell cheeses around too. But they have a variety of sandwiches, including a delicious barbecue melt, a 3-cheese sandwich. They also have tachos, which is probably their most famous savory item, which are loaded tater tots with corn chips, chili, and cheese. They do a plant-based version of those. And then they have the Lunchbox Tarts, which are basically fancy Pop-Tarts, and a few other items, including some alcoholic and not alcoholic specialty drinks. Woody's Lunchbox also does breakfast, and they do a breakfast version of the tachos. Those are also excellent. Got my Lunchbox Tart. Now here's the hard part, finding somewhere to sit. This is why I tell you to mobile order early, because they limit the capacity in here. So hopefully it's a little easier to find somewhere, but it's still not the best. Second of all, look at these chairs. They're literally Baby Bell cheeses. You could eat cheese, sitting on cheese, a dream of mine that has come true before. I literally love Baby Bell cheeses. I buy them by the bulk in Costco and I eat them very regularly. Anyway, I think this whole area is so cute. And then look, like, once again, we've got Andy with the bendy straws and the Christmas lights, and he set up the green army men as watchmen. It's just, ugh. Grabbed myself a delicious Lunchbox Tart. Like I said, these are essentially fancy Pop-Tarts, but what's fun is the flavors rotate. They have a rotating menu right now. This one's the raspberry. It's actually one of my favorites. They also do a lemon blueberry. That's my all-time favorite. They do seasonal ones as well. I love the apple cinnamon one that comes out around the winter holiday times, and I'm just hoping that they listen to me and make pumpkin this year instead of just putting black frosting on a different flavor. Woody, are you listening? Andy's mom? Pumpkin, please. It's always got that buttery, flaky crust. Nice amount of filling. It's definitely a sweet treat, definitely a dessert.
Thank you.
But it can also be breakfast. I've eaten one for breakfast, no shame. And I like that it comes in a little bag, so you can wrap it up and save a little bit for later if you'd like. Woody's Lunchbox, my best advice, eat here first thing for breakfast, eat here in the evening. Don't do what I'm doing, which is be here in the middle of the day. Be here a different time. Now, we have to talk about the coolest Easter egg in this entire land. Phrase, code, sequence A113. That was the classroom name at Cal Arts that a lot of the original Pixar animators took their classes in. So they hide A113 in every single Pixar movie. So wouldn't it make sense that they hide it in a land themed entirely to the original Pixar film? I think so too. And if you look right here outside Woody's Lunchbox, you can see just that nod. You've got 2 blocks right here, and the letter that is up and facing us is A. So now we need our 113. If you look at these dominoes right here, these 2 dominoes are both 1. It's hard to see the white one, but it's the dot down below. So there's your 1-1, which means that we need our 3. And if you look closely, 1, 2, 1, that makes 3. So here's your A113 hidden in Toy Story Land, my favorite Easter egg in the entire land. Make sure when you're in this land, in any queue, just walking through, that you look up, because you're gonna see that they decorated things with Tinker Toys, with Connects, with Legos, with Christmas lights. Andy made the benches out of popsicle sticks. Even the trash cans are colorful. There are giant crayons and giant toy pieces around. Just look right here in the queue for Toy Story Mania. You've got a game right here that reminds me of Chutes and Ladders, but it features Bo Peep, but it's got the little game figures. It's got dominoes, it's got blocks, it's got a yo-yo down there. You've got Uno cards over here. Going more through the queue, you're gonna see things like a viewfinder. I argue that this is, again, the most detailed land in a Disney park, and a lot of these details are completely missed because they're just little subtle things that people don't notice. Whether it be the perforation of a notepad like this one that Andy clearly ripped off of his mom's notepad that she keeps by the phone with a pen so she can write important notes down and then lose them later. No one else's mom does that? Okay, just mine. Okay, this next one may come off a little biased, but I know I'm not alone because Toy Story Land is one of the places where you can meet your favorite Toy Story characters. I'm talking Woody, I'm talking Buzz, I'm talking Bo Peep. If Jessie's your favorite for some reason, she's been here as well, along with the Green Army Men. Now, at the time I'm filming this, character meet and greets have not returned officially back to this land. Those characters are still in the Pixar Pals cavalcade that happens down the street. However, they have announced that characters are coming back soon, and I'm so excited to be able to hug my main man, Buzz Lightyear, again. I think it's safe to say it's not just me. Buzz Lightyear, Woody, these are some of the most beloved characters in all of Disney lore, so the fact that you can meet them here in Andy's backyard is absolutely fabulous. My one complaint with the characters, thank you for asking, it's the lack of bullseye. I would like a bullseye meet and greet. Thank you. Next up, we have everyone's favorite place to fight with their family, and I'm talking Toy Story Mania, the OG Toy Story attraction here in Disney's Hollywood Studios. Toy Story Mania is a family-friendly attraction. It's a 3D shooting game with Buzz and Woody and all your favorite Toy Story friends, where you play little carnival mini games such as ring toss, balloon darts, and more, and you try and get the best score and beat your family. So it's my favorite place to fight with my family and friends, and I usually come out on top. I know I've talked about both of the main attractions here in Toy Story Land, and both of them are awesome and definitely part of why they're the coolest. But I wanted to give a special shout out to two of the best animatronics in all of Walt Disney World. They're right here in Toy Story Land, and that definitely deserves its own bullet point. I'm talking about Mr. Potato Head and Wheezy. Wheezy, you may remember, is the squeaky toy penguin from Toy Story 2. He gets shelved by Andy, and then Woody goes to save him from the garage sale, which is how he gets kidnapped. It's a whole thing. But Wheezy is located at the end of Slinky Dog Dash before you get off. He's got that little, microphone set from Fisher-Price. Did anyone else have that as a kid? I used to perform full productions with that thing, which probably shocks approximately no one. But Wheezy has the mic, and he's singing You Got a Friend in Me, and he's an incredible animatronic. And I feel like people are so excited by the rush of Slinky Dog Dash, by how much fun they just had, or the relief of finally being out of that really hot line, that they don't pay attention to Wheezy, but you definitely should. And then over here in Toy Story Mania, now you have to go through the standby line to see him, but you are going to see one of the most incredible animatronics ever made, and that is Mr. Potato Head. He is an interactive animatronic, meaning he will speak to different people in the queue. He can pull out his own ear and put it back in. He tells jokes, he performs, he sings. He is an incredible animatronic, and a lot of people either don't see him at all because they are going through the lightning lane, or they don't really pay attention to him or remember him because he's part of a queue and not a main part of an attraction. But both of these animatronics are amazing. If you're a theme park geek like me, if you're an animatronic fan like me, definitely points to Toy Story Land for these two characters. And last, but certainly not least, get out of here, son. It's no longer your time to shine. We are talking about this land at night. There are a lot of Disney World lands that look cooler or different when you go from daytime to nighttime. Think about Pandora, the world of Avatar, over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Even Galaxy's Edge here looks a lot different at night. The main parts of the parks look different. Sunset Boulevard, Fantasyland, Main Street, when you can see Spaceship Earth, they all look different and incredible at night. And Toy Story Land might just have the best transformation of all.
Yeehaw! Ride like the wind, Slinky Dog!
I'm trying to speak, Jessie. Oh my gosh. Well, friends, did I convince you? Do you believe that Toy Story Land is the coolest land in Walt Disney World? Do you at least believe that it's the most detailed land in Walt Disney World? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know which other lands you want me to fight for. In the meantime, friends, it's been magical.
Hello. It's so nice to see new toys in the backyard.
I know, I was just
Being a
thinking
toy
that.
in Jimmy's backyard is like striking your mother. You're gonna love it.
I'd love it if you'd stop.